Welcome back, and to everyone who saw the first part of my playthrough for Final Fantasy I, the Pixel Remaster. If you're joining me for this one, you are a mad person for starting on not the first video in a series, but more power to you. Starting this again, if you don't know from the first video, this is my first playthrough of any video game ever trying to record and stream, so I will undoubtedly make plenty of mistakes, and that's hopefully all I will say about this. So, we've just in the previous video defeated Garland, got the bridge made, and now we have a nice little cutscene to start things off with. This is fairly similar to the original. Okay, there weren't birds in the first one, but we still got the nice panoramic view of the castle. So, from the last video I said, I started playing these games when this first came out on the Nintendo, the original version for the United States, and fell in love with Final Fantasy then and played almost every single Final Fantasy ever since, and I have enjoyed them all the way along. And when some of the missed versions, the Final Fantasy 2, 3, and 5, when I was able to get a hold of them as a, late teenager, early 20s, I forget how old I was, I went back and played those games. Final Fantasy 2 did not enjoy all that much. 3 and 5, absolutely loved those as well. 3 was, it was okay. Still loved it. 5 was a blast. I really enjoyed 5. None of them are my favorites in this series, but 2 is the only one that I actively disliked. And I know a lot of people share that opinion. It's one of those that most people love to dislike, and I'm on board with those people. Let's see, I'm not just going to keep talking over that, because if you want to read this, you can. I don't have the option of skipping through it, but we do have that wonderful soundtrack in the background. Always loved the Final Fantasy fanfare, even when it was all the Final Fantasy music, even when it was originally just and just little blips. Still loved it. Iconic sound, one of the most ridiculously easy theme songs. At its base is just up the scale, down the scale, up the scale, down the scale. Trophy earned! Yay! And so as themes go, it's so easy, but it's instantly recognizable. If you know the Final Fantasy theme, you hear it, you're like, dude, got it, I know exactly what this is. And it's just sort of one of those things where Final Fantasy has always had such strong soundtracks, even from their most basic versions in the early games. And notice, already got a crazy horse. One should not be that bad. You'll notice I am not spending a whole lot of time going and talking to people to find out where to go. That's because they already know where to go. And so I will typically only talk to people I need to, or if someone's in my way, or if I just feel like talking to that person for some reason. All of which will happen at various points. So at this point we're going up to Matoya's cave, and the only reason to come here this early is because she has some good... she's got some chests to open. Ouch! Oh, the spin circles. My eye! My eye! Ouch! Just gonna watch this poor old lady fumble around and trip and fall on the floor a few times. I can't see a bastard thing without my crystal eye. Okay, still. Oh, could have stolen it from me. Couldn't you have seen them before they stole it? Did they get it in your sleep, maybe? Because otherwise I hope you would have seen them coming. Not much of a magic witch for that. Let's see, I don't think you can anything in pots. Yeah, they didn't change that. Forwards, backwards, any way you see it. Such a strange spell. Swish, swish, aree. Front, back, enemies. Aru, cancel, and 2. L2. Okay, cancel and L2, yeah. Brooms in this one speak backwards. Apparently. So, cancel and L2. Let's see. I think we have to be on the world map for that. I believe in the original was push B, select a magic spell, and that, let's see, cancel L2. Yes! Big world map. Of all the places we've been so far. Whoa! Chest counts. That's new. Okay, I'll get those later. Cornelia has no chests. Chaos Shrine. Yeah, I'll get a little more of those later. And I got all 3. Oh, that's nice. I like that. Okay, and There's nothing to scroll. Alright, cool. That's a nice addition. And again, minimap, not a... Oh, crud. Minimap, not a thing on the original version of this game for the Nintendo, and so somewhere I still have the guidebook and the original map that came with the game. So you had a world map, and there were little blanks for you to fill in what things were as you explored and found them. Not a horrible way of doing it. At least they gave it to us. I didn't have to make my own map, which I had to do with a couple older games. My brother and I mapped out Super Metroid room by room, block by block on the map for each of the different areas and marked where every single missile pack and energy thing was. Again, pre-internet. And I still actually have that map in the closet somewhere, to come to think of it. But yeah, the original, you just had a fold-out map that was sort of helpful, and eventually we just sort of learned your way around. It may have had some of the dungeon maps, some of the early ones, like the Marsh Cave on it, things like that. So it was, it was sort of helpful in the end, but... Alright. Let's see, yes. Already fighting ogres and Gigas worms, good lord. Alright. Focus on the ogre. It will take all of us, plus next round, to come anywhere near defeating him. Nope, 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 back up. Him. Alright. Something I don't miss from other games. Target memory. Okay, Ken can take the hit. Palin can't produce a hit, save his life. That is an ogre. Apparently stubbed his toe with it. Alright, there's a... So my brothers, when we first played this game, I was the first one of us to test out the thief. I don't remember if they tried him and didn't like it, but I remember using the thief, and I was the first one to use the thief. I believe I named him Tass after Tasselhoff from Dragonlance lore, and obviously he's sort of underwhelming as a thief, and again, didn't necessarily know the best way to play him. The original version of this game, he didn't have some of the same weapons available to him that he does in this, I think. I think they may have made some upgrades, if I remember right, from the iOS version, I think, with some of which carried over to this. But once he gets upgraded and gets a class upgrade later in the game, dude, that was a nice hit. He becomes way more useful. And I think what persuaded me to try him was there's a weapon you get towards the end of the game that is one of the strongest weapons in the game, and it goes to waste if you don't have the thief character in your party. And so it's, roughly the equivalent of not having a knight in your character, or a paladin, or a fighter, or whatever he upgrades to, and then picking up Excalibur, which will be the case for me, apparently, since I don't have a knight in my party. And so, but originally I was like, ooh, okay, I've got my fighter, I've got Excalibur, and I've got this other sword here that does me no good whatsoever. Who is this for? Finally decided I'll try running a thief through and see how it goes. Very underwhelming early game. I think he does better in these versions than he did in the original. Crud, I'm gonna take it right there. But then again, late game he really excels. He doesn't quite get the damage output that the monk and the fighter do, obviously. 4 hits already. Kanan, you awesome. But he holds his own, and he gets magic later on that is very useful, and is one of the reasons why I structure my party the way I do. His use late game is the reason why I pick him and run with him, and he holds his own early on now, at least. Did not used to originally. Evasion for one ally, no. Null shock, not very rarely useful. Silence never works. Darkness, I don't have the money to spend. I'll come by that later when it will do me no good whatsoever. Because what am I going to spend money on at that point? Alright, I think this has the first spell that I would like to buy for you is Temper. can be useful, but I want to check out weapons first. Weapons and armor. Which definitely changed in this version and the iOS version compared to the first one, because I absolutely remember certain weapons being available at various times that are just no longer a thing. So scimitar, broadsword is for you, yes, because I believe a good defense is a good offense. And the scimitar, I don't remember what I can buy in the next town, so I'm just going to go ahead and do it here. Yeah, no. You get your scimitar, you get your broadsword, and you're using the same things. Oh, pirate. Whose name I don't know yet. I hope it's the same. Alright, armor, what do we got? Leather, same thing. Chainmail I already got. Nobody needs iron, yay. Leather gloves. Perfect. Just enough money for everything that I need. And let's sell things, because that is absolutely an option in this game that I take advantage of. I need to sort my inventory when I'm done. Scimitar is being used. Is that really all that? Alright. So Aurelio was the only upgrade that I made. Oh, that's what I was going to do. Items. Sort, please. Items at the top, thank you. Alright. Don't need any of those. Everybody should be... Let's go sleep at the end if I've got enough money, or go fight something if I don't. I don't know how hard the pirates are going to be in this version. This was like... Yeah, this was like 100, I want to say. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was still only 50. I remember this being more expensive in the original game. But man, I just say, probably one of the worst experiences of playing the original Final Fantasy on the Nintendo was this right here. Inventory. Because it didn't exist. You could store just this stuff, but weapons and armor, you had 4 slots. You could put whatever you wanted to in there. You could put 4 swords on a monk and just not equip any of them, and just his entire inventory was 4 swords. And that's all you had. You know, if you had a weapon and armor and gloves and a shield of some sort on all 4 of your characters, when you got to a chest, it told you you didn't have enough room in your inventory. Because it didn't stick it, there was no inventory system. It wanted to put it on an actual person. And so for the love of God, there was nothing more frustrating at the time than going to a chest, having to decide what to ditch just to find out what was in the chest, ditching something expensive that you needed for money or that you were using, and getting cloth armor. Looking at you, Sky Palace. And it was so frustrating, and trying to remember what chests you should not open because they didn't have something in them that you wanted, and which ones were useful and were worth ditching. Because if you're gonna find a new shield, then you can get rid of the shield on the person who's going to be getting it. But if you didn't remember what was where, oh my god, it was such a nightmare trying to play this game back then. And the actual inventory system is... when I played the next version of this available, I think the PlayStation 1 version had an inventory for storing actual weapons and armor and stuff. And that right there just made me so happy playing it compared to the original. It was... if you didn't play it, you have no idea just how terrible it was. And I didn't read their dialogue. I missed the chance to talk like a pirate. Alright, 9 pirates. This is where an AoE spell would really come in handy, huh? I don't know how strong their mage is going to be. Okay, you're dead. What do you got for him, Palin? Obviously, Kanan, Durzo, and Stats should all be able to take on everybody one-shot kills on a pirate. Palin's not bad. So this is where my days of auto-targeting and telling it who to attack when and where are actually useful, because then I know who Palin hit before, and I can have Palin hit him again and have a chance of actually killing him. So yeah, the old system on the original Final Fantasy of wasting your attack if two people targeted the same thing, again, I don't know what they were thinking. I get it, but I don't get it. That's just, I don't know if the original people played the game, because no way they played it and thought, yeah, this is fun. This is in no way frustrating that I should keep this in the game.
I'd be sorry, but young masters, I'll be making no more fuss, I swear. I want you to take me ship for your troubles. Can you find it in your heart to forgive an old pirate?
I suppose. Mainly because cold-blooded murder isn't really a hero thing to do. I did kill all of your supporters, though. So you wouldn't get very far without your crew, I suppose. What do you say? No, we don't need pirates anymore. Yeah. I mean, this BIC doesn't really do much. The BIC that they brought in on Final Fantasy Dimensions is a little more fun. I enjoyed that they brought him in, and I really enjoyed the throwback of having him in. I don't remember there being a BIC in other Final Fantasies, unless it's in one that I just haven't played as much. Like if it's in Final Fantasy 2, I would not remember it at all, because I've only ever played Final Fantasy 2 once, and while I didn't take a religious oath never to play it again or something, it kind of feels that way sometimes. Oh, good lord. Alright. You need to die first. You will absolutely be the target of all things until you are dead, because you can stun me like that. Jerk. Again, very frustrating part of playing this game is when you get stunned and you just watch yourself taking hits over and over and over again, and you can't do anything about it, and the undead are absolutely the worst about that. Alright, you hit him. You should be able to kill anything in one shot, but just in case, for now, and you heal him, because he's stunned and taking lots of damage. Come on, Palin, do your job. Alright. I really hope that one, that other one fled, and not the one that I did the damage to. Chicken. Maybe his name was Sir Robin, and he chickened out. Let's see, you can do that, you do that, and sure, maybe you'll get a critical hit. Stop hitting Kanan. Okay, that's fine. Sahagins, which I think they were limited on characters counts on on your heroes and the enemies in the original version. I got a field research basic, thank you. And so some of the names, I forget. It was like it was not spelled out Sahagin. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was like the word Shaggin or something is coming to mind, but I don't recall exactly how close to the mark that is. But yeah, it was definitely not spelled out Sahagin, S-A-H. And a chief already. Wow. I don't remember fighting any of the harder versions in some of this. Like already finding ogres as far north as I did. I know you could find ogres occasionally on your way between Cornelia and Pravoka, but I was far more likely with the original to fight some of those unicorn things, the crazy horses, than ogres at that point. Ogres really start being prolific around the Elven town in the south. That was way more ogres than I ever remember fighting. Let's see, you, and just in case stats doesn't get it done, back him up, Palin. Kanan in the blue jumpsuit. Only 2 hits. What's wrong with you? Thank you, Durzo. Cleaning up the mess. Everybody pile on that one, because if Palin gets to him first, Palin can... she's gonna run away. There was also not this much fleeing in the original. That's like the 5th or 6th time somebody's fled from a fight, at least. Good lord, for running used to be way less common in the original one. And certainly at this level, where I'm not exactly overpowered compared to the enemies. Let's see, you do that. Everybody pile on the shark. Ow. I'd say you need better armor, Kanan, but you don't get armor. Nice attack, though. Thank you. And you guys start working him down. Ouch. Everybody else needs some better armor. Thank you, cannon. Alright. Oh! Nice. Lots of stats. Good, Palin got some health. Alright. Cure. Cannon. And cure yourself, Palin. Alright, and because we're here, stop in, get a quick, cheap top off at the end. I can aim the door. Oh. Oh, let's see. Yeah. So items cost the same thing in all different areas, but the increase in cost. Oh, okay, let's see. As I very rarely run from fights. So you go there, you go there, you go there, and sure, why not that guy? Yeah, so I mentioned in my first video that, and earlier in this one, that the original Final Fantasy did not have auto retargeting, and so you will notice that I spent a lot of time in fights aiming this character at that guy and this character at that guy. And it's a holdover from those days when it really did matter how you divvied up your party and attacking. And so if you put the wrong two people attacking the same monster, one of those fights was almost sure to be wasted. And so that has forever set my attack patterns when playing this game in particular, but just about any most Final Fantasies in the turn-based RPGs like this, I will very much be following that pattern of specifically targeting a lot of fights and trying to balance out who can do how much damage where to not waste offense. Occasionally it doesn't work, and I'll try two people to target something, and I'll aim at someone else somewhere else, and the two people don't get the job done. And had the third guy been aiming at him, he would have been able to finish it off, etc. But it's, the price you pay for the different play styles. Alright, first things first, how much damage are we looking at for weapons here? Welcome. Okay, yeah, definitely, in the original version, there was like a mithril or silver sword here for the warriors that was like 4,000 gil, which is a ridiculous price. And, however, it was an excellent opportunity to grind to afford that, and by the time I could afford that, I was more than happy to go march through the next couple of dungeons and mow down everything in my path. Iron nunchucks for you it feels like kind of a waste. Dagger, obviously pointless, and really. Saber, 13 and accuracy 5. What are you currently rocking? I don't know what your weapon is like. Nope. Equip. Just how accurate. So his attack would go up a little bit. I don't think it's worth the cost just yet. Anything for the Palin? No. Alright. I think he pretty much rocks his hammer for a while. I forget when the silver. I think the silver hammer comes available in Crescent Town. Alright, let's see what we got here. Red magic. Red mage, rather. Fyra, yes. Definitely need an AoE spell for you. Thundara, however, is technically the more useful for cases where, because it does enough damage AoE to everybody on land. It does really good damage in the water. And so I find it to be slightly more useful between the two, so if I can only afford one, that's the one I get. And then, obviously, let's see, who's going to lie on the tombstone? Is it going to be Link? Here lies Link! Yes! Sorry, Link. Okay, so yeah, those are the three for her, him, whatever. Alright, let's see. Everything's going to be way too expensive at this point, so we're going to grind up some money and fight some monsters here with our improved weaponry. Oh, man, right off the bat. Oh, Ogre Chiefs already. Thanks. Let's see. Everybody pile in on Ogre Chief for now. Let's see how that works. Yes. Okay, good damage. Okay. Everybody keep going on him. Wait, you have... Aha. Oh, yes, yes, yes! Ogre Chief goes down! Ogre. One more. And everybody pile on him. Palin. I thought about making you heal Kanan, but I clicked the buttons too fast. And it doesn't matter. More levels. Yes. Okay. Really? Need some more hit points for you, Kanan. You're my lead fighter. You really need more hit points. Stats, you're not getting... The white mage has more health than you, Stats. You are terrible at your job. Just a second here. Record these at the middle of the night. There we go. Really should do that. Alright. Okay. Magic. Alan. Cure your buddy. Durzo. You're only need curing by virtue of the fact that you have the most hit points of anybody. That seems wrong. Wargwolves. I don't know if Durzo or Stats can one-shot those, so they're going to support each other and see what happens. Nope, they cannot. The sprites on the main characters don't feel... Oh, wow. Nice shot, Durzo. Don't feel all that... You know, like, obviously they've been remastered. I think it's I'm thinking of the iOS version where they really upgraded everything, whereas this is just, you know, still pixelated then as a remaster. I like it. It feels weird that it's, you know, this is a newer version on a better platform. I'm playing this on PS5. I guess it's a PS4 game technically, but yet to be a downgrade in graphics on the sprites compared to the iOS. It feels weird a little bit. You go there and you see. Sometimes I forget where the target is going to go when I switch targets. Where the little finger's going to point. Okay, Kanan doing your job, killing everything in one shot. Nice work. Palin. You couldn't just squeeze a couple extra points out there, dude? Seriously? Alright, you back him up, you back him up, and you go back and finish off your one lone wolf. Really? See, more fleeing. Fleeing was not this prevalent this early in the game against comparable bad guys. If I came back here later in the game, or even after leveling up in this same area a while, I would expect to see some enemies flee, but definitely did not happen with this regularity in the older versions of this game. That's crazy. Alright. And you'll also notice when I play this game that I'm quite cheap with money in a lot of ways. I will refuse to spend money on things that I'm not pretty darn sure I'm going to need. And yeah, in late game when I have lots of money on hand, then I just tend to spend it all on random things just for the heck of it. But I will absolutely always start using all my cure spells before I ever touch my potions, because I think potions are cheaper in this. They seem to be cheaper, or I have more money on hand than I remember having a lot of times. But money just felt like it was really hard to come by at one point, and especially back in the day when you had to buy potions one at a time from the store. I didn't want to buy any more than absolutely necessary, because that was a giant waste of time and a pain in the butt. And so, again, playstyle set by early experience with RPGs, I tend to use my magic, heal with what I've got, and then when I run low, it's a lot cheaper to go hit the inn than it is to use potions. Even one potion is typically, I think the potions in are like 50 gil or something, and the inn in Cornelia was 50. They were roughly the same price or something like that. So it's like, it's way more expensive to use potions, and so it is a much more economical use of money to use spells and then go hit the inn. And even when the inns start getting very expensive, holy cow, Kanan, you're almost dead. That is not acceptable for the way I play this game. Like I said, have some OCD tendencies. One of the ways that manifested in this game is that it really bugs the living hell out of me when one of my characters dies. Not because of the inconvenience of having a dead character for a while or using them and any sort of other problems, just because their experience points don't match up anymore. And the fact that I can see all of their experience and one character's experience will be off drives me insane. And I cannot promise that I will not restart should one of my characters die at an inopportune moment. If it happens on a boss that I'm having trouble with, okay, I probably, no promises, won't go back and restart. But that is absolutely something that I have abused in the past with games that have save states or quick saves where I can save right before the boss. I will absolutely do a quick save, fight, and then if somebody dies, I immediately back out of the fight and go start it over again. Happened to me a lot in Tiamat last time I was playing on the iOS version, I think. I kept getting hit with insta-death abilities that just really kind of a nightmare for that particular playstyle of trying to keep everybody alive the entire game. I don't know what's going to happen in this version. We'll see just how much it bothers me. I have been known in some versions, I believe I did it on FF3 on my phone, to kill a character off who has the most XP and start rebalancing everyone's XP so they're all really, really, really close to each other so that at least everybody levels up at the same time. So, because if everyone levels up at the same time, I don't really care that much about seeing their XP the exact same number the whole way along. When it puts it right in front of my face like this, they all have 858 to the next level, it's a little bit more annoying. And I know that doesn't bother probably most people in the world, much less most people that will watch this, but man, it's there and staring me in the face the whole time if I let someone die and stay that way. Life spell's nice to have for emergencies. I don't think Kanan can one-shot it over just yet. And so life spell's nice to have later on, but if I never have to use life spell, that's my preferred way of playing this particular game. Doesn't bother me at all in the slightest on any game where, like FF4, where characters join at different levels and different experience. Never crosses my mind that they should all be the same level or they should be anywhere near the same experience. It's just in games like this, FF2 I think, and FF3, where everybody starts at the exact same point. Everyone starts at level the same, experience the same, everything. You have all your characters you will get for the whole game in your party at the same time. Oh my lord, it's just, I don't know why, it's just so aggravating sometimes to me. Now, 150 hit points, I swear that would have killed one of those snakes in the original version. I thought they only had 50. Apparently they have 68 or less. I'm gonna go on money. Ah, I got enough. Well, at least for the magic. I still need more for potions and outfitting. But definitely need to. Okay. You need Cura. Yes. And Diara's nice to have no blaze. By the time I need anti-fire, it will be a moot point. So we're gonna go with heal first. I will worry about Diara later, because Dia works pretty darn well by itself. at this point in the game for quite a while. The White Mage versus Undead is absolutely OP early game. I mean, period, really. As long as you keep his spells upgraded. You and you attack him. Because at some point, Paladin might be able to kill reliably one-shot a wolf. You could take on some of those goblins, but wolves still a bit tough for our poor little white mage down there. Gotta remember who I attacked with who. Oh, Kanan just kind of like shrugs when he dodges. That's nice. Durzo looks like someone sucker punched him in the gut. And he's exploding outwards instead of collapsing inward for some reason. I don't know why that particular attack style is what occurred to me to describe it as. Let's see, everybody good. Actually, I gotta run out here. No, ambush bad. What? What does that look like? Oh no, Durzo when he gets hit and goes ah, it reminds me of Chrono Trigger. It has that same sort of shock, surprise, arms and legs all akimbo appearance. And yes, nice shot, Durzo. Nice shot, Palin. Nice try, stats. Come on, did you get like the thickest sword out there? Took that term broadsword a little bit literally on that one, huh? It's not, broadsword's not that broad, dude. Okay, good news is this is lots of experience. Even better news is I've got an AoE spell now. Yeah, go ahead and hurt hero Kanan. So Kanan like hovers in midair when he gets hit. Maybe I should have named it Aang. Well, mostly dead. There's a big difference between mostly dead and all dead. Nobody's gonna kill him. He's gonna attack. I'd have to get really, really unlucky for them to kill Kanan right now. Flee. What is this flee? Again, how did he flee? He was dying. Did he flee mid-death? Because that was enough damage to have killed him, right? I'm not so sure how this fleeing thing works in this version. Alright, you probably need a Cura. You're good. Alright, good. Jumping on visibly for y'all as well on the screen. When I'm walking, the screen update feels weird. There's also a big difference. I've got my main gaming TV screen up there, and the screen captures in front of me here, just so I'm not staring off to the side the whole time and break my neck. But I swear the color seems better on this than it does on the actual TV. Maybe it's because of some of the settings, but I like the way it looks here. The blue on the menus is a bit darker and richer. I prefer darker blue. The one up on the screen is it got more cyan in it. And some of the grass textures seem a little washed out. It's not jumping up there. It's just on the capture card, I guess, on the computer that it's jumping. Alright. That's not horrible. Yeah, everybody attacks the ogre. It's not Shrek, it's an imposter. He's pink. Okay, it takes all of us to kill an ogre. Fantastic. So this is early game at this point. It's not a terribly exciting bit. Later on, grinding will be much faster and more limited. It's just at this point we're There's only so many places I can go. Same things to fight. At least for the love of God, I don't have to grind as much as I did in the original version, trying to afford the weapons and armor for everybody. Especially when doing the double fighter team comp. Oh man, trying to afford 2 of those big swords at 4,000 a pop. Because why wouldn't I fully outfit my guys with the best available? Man, that was expensive and took forever. Plus the cost of buying the spells for the mages to make sure they were fully upgraded. And then when you were done with all that, usually were leveled up enough that you could start considering buying the next level of spells, which were then at least, I haven't shopped here yet, but at that point they were another 4,000 a pop, I think. Maybe only 3, but I swear that I think they were 4. And so again, everything just got so ridiculously expensive. And there's enough of you. I'm going to go ahead and do that because we're going to be heading back into town soon. I can afford to waste the AoE magic. Oh, so close. Talon. Someday, buddy. Once you get some items they're good for you. One more fight, just level it up, and that should be good to head into town, I think. Should be good on money at that point. I can afford. I don't need the other spells. Not for this cave. Dandara. And what are any healing things here? Yes, Durzo definitely needs some healing there, pal. Nobody's doing enough damage. Here comes Stats with the AoE! That's alright. It's like in the original, I don't remember there being a huge difference between Fire 2, because that's what it was called at the time, not Fire-a, and Lit 2, as it was known. I don't remember there being a really big difference in most battles. Like I don't remember that elemental damage was that different. There were certainly some that like ice. It was just sort of. Ice is better than fire or lightning because it was a level 2 spell. Ice 2 was a level 4 spell, I think, something like that. And so just the level of the spell controlled whether it was more powerful or not. I remember there being very little elemental difference. Obviously, you want to use Lightning 3, Lit 3 against the Kraken when you go find him in the Water Fiend. It was also your most powerful spell at the time, so it just made sense. And then if you had it, then you might use Ice 3, because that was also your most powerful spell. But I don't remember there being a big difference of you want to use Lightning against the underwater guy and not the Ice, because Ice 3 was just a stronger spell. Of course, with limited spell counts to cast, you end up using all of them anyway. But it just feels like elemental damage and weaknesses was not really that big of a thing in the original one. And so, to me, in this game at least, there's still not a huge difference between buying Fire 2 or Fire-a and whatever the Electric Bolt 2 or Thundara. Jeez, man. Too many different versions of the game that some of the spell names are going to get crisscrossed in my head. Alright, Copper Armlet. Oh, yes, I really want that for Palin. Other caps. I think I can, yeah. I'm gonna find another armlet, a better one, down there, but I really kind of want Palin to have the defense now, because I can. And a couple of leather caps will go a long way towards keeping them alive. I don't always remember. No, hey, give that back. You don't get that. Thief. Okay, now you can have optimal. Everybody should be fine. Okay. Yes, I think if I put the copper armlet on Kanan, I think his evasion might go up, but his defense might actually go down. And again, this version may be different than what I remember from the other versions of the game, so I will have to experiment with that a little bit more when the time comes. But this is going to draw video number 2 to a close. We going for. I'm trying to keep the videos relatively short. This one, not a whole lot of filler space, and pretty much just grinding, got to the next town, etc. Next time we will be tackling the Marsh Cave and going and killing Astos, the Dark Elf. And if you've never played this game, you have no idea who I'm talking about. So I will fill you in really fast. He's the guy who put the Elven Prince in that castle up there under a magical sleep. Yes, there's an Elven Prince in the castle, and he's under a magical spell. And so Astos, also conveniently enough, is the one who stole Matoya's eye. If you remember Matoya back in that little cave of the witch, where we started in this video. And so he's sort of, at this point, he's sort of the crux of being able to advance the story, is defeating Astos. In the original version, if you didn't know where to go, you were told about Astos' castle, and you go and you talk to him, and he's the king in disguise, and he goes, "Oh, somebody stole my crown. Please go find that marsh cave down there and find my crown for me." I'm pretty sure the first time I played this, I bypassed his castle entirely and went straight to the marsh cave. And so when I first went up and talked to him and figured out where to go, I go up and talk to Astos. He's like, "Haha, thank you for getting my crown. I'm going to kill you now." I'm like, I don't even know who you are, dude. That was, 30-something years ago for me, so I don't remember if the very first time I played it, that's how it went. But just about every time since then, I just obviously just skip talking to him and go straight to the marsh cave because there's no reason to talk to him if you know where to go. But I swear the first time I played this, I missed him and then had to figure out where to take the stupid crown once I had it, and was very surprised when he just like, "Ha! I'm Astos, I'm gonna kill you now." Okay, didn't know who you were in the first place, dude. So next time we'll tackle that, and once we get Astos, then the world starts to open a little bit, but only in a very, very limited way. Still be a little bit of grinding at that point to get where I need to be, because Canaan's still a bit squishy, and we'll get everybody where they need to be and start on the first of the elementals probably in the video after that, just based on how long it takes to do things. Once I get through the Earth Cave, then things will really start changing and start speeding up a bit, and then it's just one thing after another, and it's a lot more fun, way less grinding. So, anyway, thank you for joining us. I hope you come back for the rest of this series and are enjoying my run-through and my history of Final Fantasy as a 30-plus year Final Fantasy gamer, going all the way back to the beginning. Thank you for watching, and hope to see you in the future. Bye.